Okay, and we should be live now everywhere but Instagram. That's coming up in just a moment. So I'm going to say hello to everybody that's joining us and welcome to Writing Sprint Wednesdays. Special guest hosts, us, Hank and Doug, which I mean, I think at this point, since we started this at the beginning of the month, we now have hosted this as much as Robert has. So who's
Who's
the
the
guest
guest
host
host
now?
now?
Anyway,
Next week.
thank you everyone for joining us. We do have a wordsprints.org sprint all set up. I'm going to pop that in the chat for anyone to join. That chat being on Facebook and YouTube. If you're joining us from Twitter/X, just hop on over to YouTube to grab the link,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to join us, or just let us know how many words you write when we
Right.
do our sprint.
Do you,
I
off the
have
top
the
of your head, Doug, do you remember how many words we sprinted last week?
I want to say it's something like 4,500.
It was a bunch.
Yeah,
It was a
it was
bunch.
a good chunk.
Yeah.
Let me just see here.
We are live on Instagram, by the way.
Excellent. Hello,
And
Instagram. Hello, world.
yeah. And X/Twitter. And by the way, when will it become comfortable to just call it X and not X/Twitter anymore? Do you think everyone knows that they changed their name by now?
I
I mean, it
mean,
just always feels weird. I don't know.
I think it'll always feel weird. That's the power of branding, right?
Right.
And when you come
Exactly.
in and just change a brand like that, it's going to take a long time. And also, between you and I and anyone else watching, X is a dumb name. So I'll
Well,
probably always use
no,
Twitter.
there's that. There is that. Yeah.
All right, we have a couple minutes here. Hank, you said you were going to continue writing the short story that you started last week.
I am my small town magical realism story. Yes, that's what I'm going to continue writing on today. And I really hit a zone last week, and the the story was coming alive. So I'm going to try to get back in that vein today.
Excellent. I'm just getting my music queued up for my ears only because copyright reasons. Um, but
Yeah.
I'll be starting on a new chapter in my book. And I don't know. I don't see. I have about 2 minutes and 46 seconds to decide whether I want to move on to that chapter or to break over to a different scene from a different perspective. And I'm just not totally sure.
Gotcha. While Doug is thinking, those of you that are watching, do you write with music or do you prefer silence? Just a just a fun little poll there. I personally do like music,
Mm.
but I'm not writing with any today. So
Trying new things. Silence when I'm writing, silence is so loud for me.
yes, yes,
And for those of us, or for those who are just joining, I will share the link again. I'm not 100% sure if people joining on Facebook or YouTube can see messages sent in the past or how easy it is to see them. So there it is. And let us know what you're going to be writing
yeah,
so that we can all work on this together. We want a decent word count today. I don't want to set a particular goal because I'm not sure who can join us at this strange hour,
yeah,
a few hours before we normally do our events. But let's try and get as many words as we can, I'd say.
yeah.
And I guess I have to share my
Agree.
screen, don't I?
You do, and I'm getting the 10-second countdown on mine.
You have a 10-second?
Yeah, it's 3, 2, 1.
I have a minute and 20 seconds.
Oh, but well, this is it a 20-minute sprint?
Yeah.
Yep, mine started.
Oh, okay. Well, Hank's gonna rocket ahead of us. I still have 11:03. I'm gonna wait for the next couple minutes, but you, sir, you go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm gonna mute my mic and dig in.
All right. Okay, and for those of us operating in real time, here's my screen. And okay, Let me to get one last brain blast in before we start. Sip of water. I haven't had coffee today. We're gonna see how this goes. I think in the vein of this afternoon, or in the spirit of this afternoon, we're gonna focus on some dialogue today. And we have 20 seconds. Again, if you haven't queued it up, feel free to join us in the word sprint links in the chat. Otherwise, just let us know on the other end how many words you wrote. I'm going to mute my mic because we are starting in less than 10 seconds. Trying to catch up to Hank now. We're behind. Here we go. Alrighty. Now, sorry, Hank, you've been sitting here in silence probably if your timer was a little ahead of
Yeah.
ours, but
I have
hopefully that
no
allowed
idea
for
how
some
that
good
happened. It's
reflection.
so weird.
It is very strange,
Yeah.
but cool. I will say I detest writing in front of people, I've learned. Not that I think many people are watching right now because we should admittedly all be writing, but yeah, that was an uncomfortable experience, especially given I did not plan this chapter. I've done none of the plotting that I normally like to do, so it is a lot of exploratory writing right now.
Mm.
Um,
I
but
wish
yeah,
I would have been
how
watching.
did your writing go? Oh, I think I
Uh,
froze there.
my writing went, very well because I was not writing on stage, and I had plenty of notes that I had made, from previous sessions, so I had a good, idea of where I was going, and I was able to read over the last couple of paragraphs of what I had previously written and just drop right back into the flow. I got 830 words.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah,
I myself
that's
got 763.
boom,
Ooh,
boom. Look
it
at
feels
us
good.
just kicking tail, taking names.
We have written in Melanin here saying writing in front of people is so hard. It's the need to look productive. Yeah, and admittedly, I want to be productive, right? And
Right.
I like when I'm sprinting like this to always be writing. But you're right, written. Even the times where during a sprint I would normally sit back and think, okay, what's the exact word here, or where do I really want to take this? Being on camera like this, I think, wow, I just gotta push ahead.
Right. And even though no one can see our keyboards, I would catch myself afraid that I wasn't moving my shoulders enough and it didn't look like I was typing.
You can go like this.
How how silly is that? But, yeah.
And Chelsea, awesome. Nice to meet you, Chelsea. Thank you for joining. I really like seeing new faces or names, I guess, in the chat here. We don't have any of our familiar, our normal folks around, or our regulars, not normal, but hopefully they get to get their own words in.
Yeah.
And Chelsea also saying, I have my keyboard on screen when I sprint and it's nerve wracking. Oh.
I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is.
I
Ooh.
also I find that I just make more spelling errors when I'm in front of people like this. So
Yeah. Yeah. Same, same.
awesome.
And
We did
don't
have
forget any of you that are sprinting along with us, don't forget to copy out your words into your favorite writing app, whether it be Dabble or Word or Notepad, whatever you track your writing
always
with.
going
But
back to Notepad.
you'd be surprised. You would be surprised.
um, awesome. And oh, my old computer is behaving badly. Kara says that's unfortunate. You
Yeah,
can. I will take this moment to my shameless plug of the day, or at least the event. You can write on your phone with Dabble, whether in a web browser or
that's
through
right.
downloading the PWA. It takes some getting used to, but you're only going to get used to it if you try it. So
That's right.
it's always that
That's
option.
right.
And Chelsea and Kara, did you write in the wordsprints.org session with us? Did you write on your own? If so, if the latter, let us know how many words you wrote.
Yeah. It looks like on our sprint that we were doing live, we had 4 participants. That would be me and you, Doug, and
Hmm.
2 others, not sure who was joining us. But as a group, it looks like we got, 1,801 words, as
Yeah,
a group, which is
excellent.
incredible. That's a whole chapter.
Yeah, yeah. I tend to be a lot more verbose and in need of a line editor, so my chapters tend to run twice as long, but maybe they should be closer to that.
Yeah, it all depends on what genre you're
Yes.
writing in. 1800, could be, a perfectly fine cozy mystery, chapter, some romance, subgenres. Epic fantasy, maybe that's about a half a chapter, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Give me time. Give me time to do stuff, you
yeah,
know?
just, there are a lot of thriller books that have short, 1,500 word chapters where,
Mhm.
Brad Thor talks about that a lot, about making those short chapters that make you not want to put the book down when you're reading in bed because, oh, I can just read one more chapter, and then before you know it, you've given him 3 hours of your time.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I wrote some urban fantasy last year, and
Yeah.
chapters are a lot shorter, or should be a lot shorter.
Mhm.
Although I don't know if you've ever, in your experience, chatted with Richard Kadri, who,
Yes.
yeah, Sandman Slim.
Yep.
He doesn't use chapters, right, in that whole
Right.
series, and so I mean that's the reason why I start reading them in the morning and then I finish them at night, and I haven't eaten or done anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's no, there's no break to let
no,
you know that it's okay to get up and go fix a
yeah.
sandwich.
So I just go, go, go.
"Okay,
We
Richard."
have, Chelsea in the chat here. I write directly in Dabble usually, but I'm doing some admin things today, client edits and planning for a short story for an anthology. That's excellent.
Nice, nice.
And yeah, Chelsea, a book with no chapters. So it's an urban fantasy, and he does use a full blank line break to denote when a scene changes.
Right.
But that's it. No chapter headings, no, asterisks or fancy scene break images. And so you just read, and most of them are formatted in not your standard 6 by 9, but I wish I had one near me, but smaller, right?
Yeah,
Little tiny rectangles. And so you're going page, 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 and then suddenly you're done. And it's all very action packed.
yeah.
That's
For
fun.
multiple reasons, reading a Sandman Slim book feels a bit like a fever dream,
Yeah.
and that definitely adds to it.
Uh, I am going to take this moment to shamelessly plug something else, which is me being back on screen in 2.5 hours, running a workshop on writing dialogue. And I just posted the link to the live stream on Facebook and YouTube in the chat right there. It's going to be a good time. It's everything from the basics to some more nuanced tips and tricks. And so I think anyone, even seasoned authors, can benefit from this. But especially if you find that you're just starting out writing, or maybe you're only a few books in, and dialogue is something you struggle with, we're going to cover like the technical rules, but also some more qualitative stuff.
Yeah.
So, Hank, I'm going to set up a second sprint.
Okay.
Chelsea's Chelsea's a superstar today.
Yeah,
I've got my notifications on for that too. Awesome.
that's right.
All right, we're gonna do writing sprint Wednesdays number 2, and we're gonna start that in 3 minutes. Should we do 20 minutes again, Hank, or should we just do 15?
It's up to you. Whatever you feel like.
Let's do 20.
Okay.
Got to get those words in.
Gotta get them in.
And we'll copy that link. I'm going to pop it into the chat there for anyone who wants to join.
All right. I'm gonna open it on my other monitor here.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsea, and thanks for stopping by. And we'll see you again in 2.5 hours. I really need to bring more water to this workshop. I ran dry in the last one, and my throat was destroyed after.
Uh, that does not make for a good day.
It didn't help either that a few hours after that ended, we had our D&D night, and myself as the dungeon master does the majority of the talking, although my players tend to do a lot of out of the game talking while I'm trying to talk too. So, all right, did that link work for you, Hank?
It did. It won't let me copy it out of here though. I am
Here, open
opening
it.
up the video on YouTube so that I can copy it out of the comments there.
Yeah, I also just
I don't
messaged it to you
it's
directly.
probably me. I'm panicking because it's, time crunch. So ignore me.
All right, in here, 10 seconds. We are a go. Happy sprinting, everyone. Alrighty. Let
I had to
me.
pop an earbud in and play some music this time. It was more than I could stand.
We had Zaina here. I think I'm saying that right, but correct me if I'm wrong. Saying hello, welcome. Sorry that you only caught the tail end of our word sprints here, but hopefully you got some of your own words in, and hopefully you can join us next time as well as we just wrap up. But Hank, how was that for you, other than the deafening sound of silence?
Well, only the deafening sound of silence for a little bit. I got 880 words, so
Excellent.
very successful day for me.
Yeah. I myself got 721 here. I had to a couple times uh bold more non-live stream friendly details. Details not appropriate for Dabble stream. So for those watching on, I write dark fantasy myself, and that's a mixture of fantasy and horror. And so some scenes like this one can be a little gruesome, little macabre. So I didn't want to subject anyone to that in case they joined and read what was going on there. But yeah, we had 4 people in that word sprint, giving us 1,851 words. Um, Adding
Woohoo!
on to our 1,801 before, that's 3,652 just from those 2 sessions there, not counting anyone that wrote on their own. I know we have people on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, all watching and hopefully writing along. Um, Excellent. And Chelsea got 251 words. That's fantastic. So that pops us up to what I say before, 3,600, 3,650.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
we're at about 3,900 words. Excellent.
I'll tell you what, I created this project just for writing sprints, and I created a special project in Dabble. And the words that I wrote on last week's sprint plus this week's 2,648 words uh,
Awesome.
total. So, for something that wasn't a pressing issue to write, because I actually have another book that I'm writing in my regular writing time. This is just kind of a fun project that I had an idea for. 2,600 words that I wouldn't have gotten, if I wasn't sprinting with everyone. Pretty great, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. I need to. Sorry, I'm just trying to save my work at the same
Yeah,
time.
I did that right before I started talking. Yeah, I have this terror of losing words that I have earned.
I just realized I was pasting in the words from the previous sprint twice. And I
Silly
thought to
bug.
myself, why is this not working? Okay, well, that's gonna need to be fixed. Um, Excellent. But I saw in the chat there, TW having some issues with dictate on Word. So unfortunately not able to get the words in today, but excellent. Thank you for joining us just to hang out as
Yeah,
well. I hope that gets fixed up for you.
Chelsea got 251 words
Yeah.
toward, my anthology short. Nice.
Yeah, and Zaina
Great.
there got 108 words. Awesome. I think that pushes us over the
Yep,
4,000 word count, assuming neither Chelsea nor Zaina were writing in word sprints. Um, but if they were, that's okay.
yeah.
I think we made some very good progress today.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, so we'll wrap it up because I got a little bit more to do to prepare for this workshop today. So just to shamelessly plug it again, anyone that's here, feel free to come back in about 2 hours where I will be putting on a workshop for writing dang good dialogue, and I'll share that link in the chat once more. That's totally free for since this month we're doing all of our new premium events for free for all dabblers, and I guess technically anyone that follows us on social or on
Yeah,
YouTube here. And
yeah.
excellent. Oh, and Chelsea was in Wordsmiths. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we have that. We also have our craft Q&A office hours with Hank and I tomorrow. And that's
Yep.
where we just answer some user submitted questions, um, chat about what's most pressing. We get a lot of questions every now and then on our events that we can't necessarily get to all the time.
Yep.
So this way we have some kind of forum to be able to help people out. And I'm going to grab the link for that Let me just make sure it's working here. We have a form where you can submit questions if you can't make it, or if you want to prep them ahead of time. It will be available on YouTube for everyone to watch, though.
Yeah.
And that is at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Am I correct on that one, Hank?
Yes, 2 o'clock
Okay.
Eastern time, 1 o'clock Central time where I am, and then time zones fall out from from there. But we bring your questions live if you want. Those are
Mhm.
fun. We do appreciate questions submitted ahead of time that we can think about. But we're not above taking questions off the cuff
Oh, no.
and giving hot takes. That's
Yeah.
that we are not above that at all.
Part of me thinks, oh, I much prefer the questions ahead of time because we can come up with a good answer. We can make sure we cover all the bases. But another part of me just loves getting
Right,
thrown these random questions and having to answer them on the spot, really test our knowledge.
right.
Very cool. What kind of questions do you answer? Any. I mean, as much as we can. If they're about, very long-winded and intricate parts of a particular scene in your story, we might not be able to help, given just the capacity that we have managing a live stream and not being able to see your work. But any storycraft questions, storytelling questions, marketing, publishing, anything. If you have the question, we probably have the answer, but but we
We
might
we
not.
have an answer.
We have an answer, yeah. Where do
It
we
may
send the
not fit
questions
the
to?
question you're asking, but who knows?
TW, there, I did just post a forms link there, the forms.gle, which is short for Google, I guess. That's where you can submit it. There was a deep dive newsletter, one of the other premium things going out to everyone that went out yesterday. That has a link to it as well if you don't want to hang out or come back here. Marketing, whoo, that's a big one. It sure is. And I don't think we profess to be marketing experts, but we know a fair amount. I guess we do this for a living,
Yeah.
so we have to know our stuff. And Hank has spoken with so many authors over the years that I'm sure you've gleaned a thing or two about marketing from bestsellers.
Hope so.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing about marketing. It's the market is always changing. So you
Yes.
have to be while you hope to reach expert status someday, your student status forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to wrap this up here, but hopefully see you again in 2 hours for our workshop. And if you got those words down, thanks for writing with us.
Yeah. See you guys.